I am Zaitian, known to the world as the Guangxu Emperor of the Qing Dynasty. Born on August 14, 1871, I ascended to the Dragon Throne in 1875, a mere boy of 4, chosen by my formidable aunt, the Empress Dowager Cixi, to be her puppet in an era of turmoil. My reign was marked by both hope and constraint, a time when the Qing Empire faced relentless internal strife and external pressures that threatened to crumble our ancient civilization. As a child emperor, I was sheltered within the Forbidden City, my every move dictated by tradition and the iron will of Cixi. She was both my mentor and my warden, wielding ultimate power while I bore the title of Son of Heaven. The burden of responsibility weighed heavily upon my young shoulders, but the true reins of governance were beyond my grasp. My tutors instilled in me the Confucian classics and the importance of upholding our ancient ways, but my heart often yearned for the reformist ideas that swept through the empire like a clandestine wind. When I reached adulthood, I began to see the fragility of our realm. The humiliating defeats in the Opium Wars had exposed our military weakness, while the encroaching influence of Western powers eroded our sovereignty. Foreign enclaves grew in our port cities, and treaties drained our wealth and dignity. I knew change was imperative if we were to preserve our nation's honor and identity. Yet, every step toward modernization was met with resistance from the conservative factions at court. In 1898, I initiated the 100 Days Reform, a bold yet doomed attempt to rejuvenate the Qing Empire. I envisioned sweeping changes, modernizing the military, reforming the examination system, promoting industry, and establishing a constitutional monarchy. With the support of progressive scholars like Kan Yu and Liang Qichao, I issued edicts to breathe new life into our ancient state. For a brief moment, I believed that transformation was possible, that the dragon could rise anew from the ashes of stagnation. But my ambition was thwarted by the very person who had placed me on the throne. Cixi, ever wary of losing her grip on power, deemed my reforms a threat to the stability of the dynasty and the traditions she held dear. With the support of loyalist forces, she orchestrated a coup, confining me to the summer palace under virtual house arrest. My dreams of reform were shattered, and I became an emperor in name only, my authority eclipsed by her enduring dominance. The years that followed were marked by helplessness and humiliation. I watched as foreign powers carved up China like a ripe melon, exploiting our weakness and plundering our riches. The Boxer Rebellion of 1900, a desperate and chaotic attempt to expel the foreigners, only deepened our plight when the Eight-Nation Alliance invaded Beijing, forcing us to flee the Forbidden City. The indemnities we paid further drained our coffers and morale. My health began to decline in the early 1900s, and I was acutely aware of my dwindling influence. In 1908, as my life ebbed away, I reflected on the bittersweet irony of my reign. I had been a ruler bound by invisible chains, my vision of a rejuvenated China thwarted by the weight of tradition and the machinations of those who feared change. I passed into the annals of history on November 14, 1908, just one day before the death of Cixi. Some whispered that my demise was no coincidence, that even in my final moments, her shadow loomed over me. Though my time as emperor was fraught with failures and frustrations, I take solace in the seeds of reform that were sown during my reign. The Qing Dynasty would fall just 3 years after my death, but I hope that my efforts, however fleeting, contributed to the awakening of a new China.